perceptive readers, in the beginning, learning was fun. Learning should be fun. Here's what I mean by that. In the beginning, when God even placed the first two humans on the face of this earth, the assignment, the task, the responsibility that he gave them actually would cause them to use their minds, and they would find great enjoyment in the work that was given to them as well. There's been expressions even made by God talking about a good condition of the heart that still comes about through the works of a person's labor and other expressions that go to show human beings really do not shy away or fear hard work. Now, it's something about in some person's minds that if you enjoy, you see your job, then maybe it's not really hard work. You see, that's the way some kind of make a joke about different people's occupations, and yet that still really isn't the case. Um, Different strokes for different folks. Same thing with different occupations. Not every occupation will stimulate a person's mind to learn. Um, it may actually cause them to feel like it's more as a chore. You see, a burden, a load, even though it may actually be a responsibility that's just much needed, but it's just not geared towards the way that person, as we would say, the way that they're wired. Um, I wanted to share that with you because even before I go to the next point, let me emphasize even when Adam and Eve were actually on the earth, this may sound like a strange statement the way that I'm going to say it, but I want to assure you the condition of their minds and their bodies, their ability, the work, everything that God gave them was totally on a good and perfect level. Uh-huh. So I really want to emphasize the way that sometimes people feel you have to suffer in some type of way to get it or to understand something like the way we are now, since as people know about humans falling into sin or falling away from God's measuring up to standards. Uh, you see, they don't always believe this fact. Not everybody always believes this fact. But no, I still want to completely tell you right now, according to the book of Genesis, at least, no, when you hear of that expression, and that's not in Genesis what I'm about to say, but it's actually from the book of James. But when it talks about every perfect gift or presence, um, that comes down from above from God, it is perfect and he adds no pain with it. And so when Adam and Eve were first placed on this earth, remember this whole earth, the assignment, the jobs, everything that he gave them to do, no, it was not this dredge of pain, even the hard work, it was not this drudgery of suffering that they would have to endure just to serve God, just to make him happy. So I just thought I'd give you that. Now, parents down today in this century, you see, as they have observed their own children, uh, at times, they may give a task to one child and can see that it's not geared towards their minds, even though it is something that they know that they need to learn. And they can give the same task or assignment to another child, and the child, I mean, will just bloom with it. And so let me switch to the example of what I want to give you. Uh, Puzzles, okay? Puzzles. Um, crossword puzzles, other types of games, but especially the ones that were, coming out in the 70s. You see what I'm saying? In the 80s. I mean, those games, the way that you had to exercise your mind in trivia, those were really big back then. And yet, some children were very good at it, and some children weren't, and they could sometimes even feel left out when it came time towards playing with others, playing with even other family members. Some children just weren't going to be able to enjoy the experience. Even when families did get-togethers, sometimes after dinner and during this season, you see, when the fall season and winter season, where all the holidays and stuff going on, those are some of the things that families would do at times. They would actually play together after meals and all, all sorts of stuff that they did that made it very festival, something that they all enjoyed. And yet, even some of the activities that they picked just wasn't suited for everybody. So, different persons found different things to do. Well, you know, sometimes a parent will still look at something that they want to teach the child, but they want the learning to be fun. One parent had noticed an aptitude of one of their children to not so much be able to put together those real large puzzles. You see what I'm saying? Puzzles that people used to buy, they were 500 pieces, thousands, 10,000. I mean, and yet you had some of these children, even at a young age, that they could put a puzzle like that and frame it up all in less than a month. They could probably even do it even quicker than that. You see what I'm saying? But it was something that they actually enjoyed. And yet there would be other maybe siblings in the family that didn't enjoy it, as much. And if they were able to always find or put one piece together, for every one piece that they put, there would be a brother or a sister that already done put together like 10, 15 pieces. Now, that could be probably quite discouraging in itself in that type of supposed to be fun learning, but still environment. It may even drum up competition at times, and it just wasn't suited for something that was supposed to also teach somebody and for them to learn and to have, and to have fun with it. So, what one parent did was they knew that one of their children wanted a race car. You see, wanted a race car. Commercials uh, always were advertising cars, as they still do today. You see, but way back then, in the 70s and 80s, again, I mean, I tell you what, I believe you may have paid more attention because you only had really three mediums, really, on the television stations or what have you, that you could listen to such things. So it seemed like your attention were focused on what was being said in that type of market, more than so today where it's a little bit really over. I don't want to say oversaturated. We just know it's plenty of choices to choose from. Okay, so anyway, what one parent did for a child is when the child had asked for a car, what that parent did was, instead of buying that car, that toy, or whether it was a Tonka truck or something of that nature, the parent had an idea. And the parent actually purchased one of those model cars. I haven't seen any of those in the store in a long time. Um, I'm sure they're still made somewhere, but maybe I just don't pay attention because it's not like I'm hanging out in the toy sections as much as people may think that I still do. But no, I haven't really been in the toy store in a long time. But anyway, what the model car was when he gave it as a gift to the child. Why do you think the parent did that? Because he still knew that that child was interested, wanted a car, but in this process, not only was he going to work to get the car put together, but see, it was going to still teach him some skills. You see, that he didn't have before. All right, and those model cars, they were very. I don't know how many pieces uh, uh, you know, but it was a lot. It was still quite a bit back then. I don't know how many pieces they have today, and not as much as a 10,000 you see piece puzzle, but all the same, there was enough where it took some thinking, it took precision at times, you see, to be able to put those little pieces together, and they were all basically being put together by even super glue. So you had to be very careful. So it taught a lot of skills that was needed. And then when the child was able to put that vehicle together, that racing car together, there was such a satisfaction that the child was able to enjoy that the other siblings were actually receiving from just putting together all these huge puzzles. You see what I'm saying? And so the whole point is there was still a joy, a satisfaction of work. And if you want to call it seeing good for the fruits of their labor, if you will, for all the hard work that they had. Then they had something that they could actually still play and room, and do all of that around. But I just wanted to share that with you because when I even think back to the Garden of Eden, the very first two people, and I already told you the work that God had given them was good, where they could learn, they could enjoy themselves and things of the nature, and see for all the good work that they are doing. I just kind of liken it to the experiences that we have at times where it's all good. It requires us to use our mind. It requires us to use precision. It may require us to use other, skills and intellectual capacity along with even physical strength. But you know what? It's not a drudgery. It's something we look forward to. It's something we enjoy. And that's another aspect of what life is really all about. It's not about, and I'm just going to say this briefly, it's not about really having to accept that it's supposed to be full of grief, pain, and suffering. Even though we hear about it every day, that's not the way it was originally intended and set up in the Garden of Eden. Thank you for being with me, and have a very wonderful day. It's up to you. Happiness within. In the morning, laugh in life. Smiles from you are contagious. Poeartistry Q Poetry. Stanza 577. Happiness.